As you get older, have you ever found yourself wondering who you should avoid visiting, no matter how much free time you have? Well, the answer might surprise you. While some people's homes may seem warm and inviting, not all visits are created equal. In fact, some can drain your energy, harm your well-being, or bring unnecessary stress into your life. So before your next visit, it's worth considering who you're really spending time with. In today's video, we'll reveal 7 types of people you should avoid visiting as you get older. Trust me, this is advice you won't want to miss. Stay tuned. Person 1. The negative thinker. As we grow older, protecting our mental health and emotional well-being becomes even more important. One of the most draining types of people to spend time with is the negative thinker. This person is always complaining, fixating on worst-case scenarios, and seeing the glass as half empty. No matter how good things actually are, they'll always find something to gripe about, whether it's their health, the weather, or how the world is falling apart. If you're around them too often, you'll notice that no conversation seems to lift your spirits or bring any positive energy into your life. The negative thinker doesn't just express concerns occasionally, they dwell on problems, real or imagined. They love bringing up what could go wrong in any given situation, often speaking in absolutes. This is never going to work. It's going to be a disaster. I knew this would happen. They have a way of painting everything in the darkest light, making it feel like there's no hope or solution for anything. Over time, you might find that you begin to feel the same way too, simply by being around them. Their constant negativity can plant seeds of doubt and pessimism in your own thoughts, even if you're generally an optimistic person. How does this affect you, especially as you get older? First and foremost, it increases your stress. Stress is a silent enemy, and over time, it takes a toll on your body, mind, and relationships. Being exposed to negativity, particularly in older age, can trigger physical symptoms like headaches, muscle tension, and even sleeplessness. Your heart rate and blood pressure may spike, and your immune system may weaken, making you more vulnerable to illness. If your visits with this person are frequent, you might notice your overall stress levels rising, leaving you feeling worn out even after the visit ends. Mentally, spending too much time with a negative thinker can drain your energy. Conversations begin to feel like a weight, leaving you emotionally exhausted and less motivated. Instead of feeling uplifted after the visit, you may feel fatigued, and your mood may suffer long after the conversation ends. In the long run, this can have a profound effect on your outlook on life. The negative thinker's tendency to focus on problems rather than solutions can distort your own worldview, making life seem harder or more hopeless than it really is. If you allow too many of these toxic interactions into your life, you risk becoming caught up in their pessimistic view of the world. To preserve your well-being, it's crucial to recognize when someone is dragging you down and make the tough choice to distance yourself. Your mental health and happiness are far too precious to be compromised by negativity. Person 2. The gossiper. One person you should definitely avoid visiting as you get older is the gossiper. This individual thrives on talking behind others' backs, spreading rumors, and engaging in conversations that are far from healthy or productive. They seem to know everyone's business, but not in a good way. Rather than uplifting or supporting others, they focus on tearing people down through negative gossip. Whether it's discussing someone's private life, exaggerating events, or making assumptions about others, the gossiper thrives in a world of drama and sensationalized stories. What makes the gossiper particularly toxic is how they pull you into their web of negativity. The moment you visit them, they'll start sharing the latest rumors, passing judgment on people you may or may not know, and even gossiping about their own family members. At first, you might think it's harmless. After all, everyone talks about others sometimes. But as you engage in these conversations, you'll quickly notice a pattern. The gossiper doesn't care about facts or fairness. They only care about drama and stirring the pot. Before long, you might find yourself unintentionally participating, sharing things you normally wouldn't, or worse, becoming the next target of their gossip. The impact of spending time with a gossiper is far-reaching. For one, it exposes you to an unhealthy amount of negativity. Constantly hearing about others' flaws, mistakes, and misfortunes can warp your perception of the world. You might start to feel distrustful of others, or become overly concerned with what people think about you. The gossiper's behavior might also make you uncomfortable, especially when they bring up personal topics about others that have no place in a casual conversation. The more you hear this type of talk, the more uneasy and disrespected you may feel, especially if the gossiper has ever turned the conversation toward you or your own life. This kind of environment can also breed anxiety. When you're constantly surrounded by gossip, you start to worry about what others might be saying behind your back. The gossiper can make you feel like you're walking on eggshells, afraid that any slip of the tongue will turn into the next juicy tidbit of gossip. Over time, this creates a sense of insecurity, making you hesitant to open up or even be yourself. You may start second-guessing the intentions of everyone around you, and that sense of distrust can seep into other relationships, eroding your peace of mind. In the long run, being around a gossiper can take a serious toll on your emotional well-being. You begin to realize that these conversations aren't just unproductive, they're harmful. Instead of feeling uplifted, you may leave the visit with a bad taste in your mouth and a heavy heart. Gossip fosters division and creates a toxic atmosphere, making you feel surrounded by drama rather than meaningful connections. For your own mental health, it's important to distance yourself from those who thrive on negativity and gossip. Choose to surround yourself with people who lift you up, rather than drag you down into the murky waters of judgment and rumors. Person 3. The too busy person. Another type of person you should consider avoiding, especially as you get older, is the too busy person. This individual is always distracted, whether it's work, their phone, or other ongoing commitments. While you might think you're visiting them to spend quality time together, they never seem fully present. They're constantly checking emails, answering phone calls, or looking at their screen, leaving you feeling like an afterthought rather than a priority. No matter how much free time you may have, their inability to focus on the moment can turn a visit into a one-sided, unfulfilling experience. At first, you may think it's just a simple case of multitasking. But when this behavior becomes a pattern, it starts to feel like you're not truly seen or heard. You could be talking to them, but their attention is elsewhere. You'll notice their responses becoming brief, disinterested, or distracted, which only reinforces that they're not really engaging with you in any meaningful way. It can be especially hurtful when they promise to spend time with you, but then continue to prioritize other things, making you feel like you're simply background noise to their busy life. How does this affect you emotionally, particularly as you age? It can leave you feeling undervalued and ignored. If your visit is met with constant distractions, it can trigger feelings of loneliness and frustration. You might start questioning whether they truly care about spending time with you at all. In your later years, meaningful connections and quality time become even more important. Feeling like you're not truly being listened to or appreciated can be deeply disheartening and can erode your self-esteem over time. You want to feel like your presence matters, not like you're just another item on someone's to-do list. The emotional impact can be quite significant. Over time, repeated visits with the too busy person can lead to a sense of isolation. Even though you're physically present in their home, you start to feel emotionally distant. Instead of leaving their house feeling connected, you might feel more alone than when you arrived. This sense of emotional neglect can leave you questioning why you bother making the effort to visit in the first place. As you age, it's crucial to protect your emotional well-being. Being around someone who makes you feel like an interruption to their busy life only adds to the... Ultimately, maintaining relationships with people who are constantly distracted is not conducive to a healthy, fulfilling life, especially in your later years. You deserve time with people who genuinely appreciate your company and make an effort to be present with you. Constantly being around someone who's too busy to engage with you can wear you down emotionally and leave you feeling undervalued in your golden years. Consider making the choice to visit those who truly see and hear you, rather than those who are always preoccupied and disconnected. Person 4. The judgmental relative or friend. Another type of person to avoid, especially as you grow older, is the judgmental relative or friend. This individual is constantly critiquing your lifestyle choices, habits, or even your appearance. Whether it's how you dress, what you eat, or how you choose to spend your time, they always seem to have an opinion, and rarely is it a positive one. These individuals often express their concerns in a way that feels more like judgment than genuine care. They may disguise their criticism as advice, but it's usually wrapped in negative tones that leave you questioning your every decision. The constant criticism from a judgmental person can have a significant impact on your emotional well-being. Instead of feeling accepted and loved, you're left feeling like nothing you do is good enough. Their remarks can range from subtle digs to outright criticism, often making you feel as if you're not living up to their standards. This behavior can quickly lead to feelings of insecurity as you begin to second-guess your choices, whether they're related to your health, your relationships, or even how you spend your free time. No matter how much you try to brush off the comments, they can slowly chip away at your confidence. How does this affect you emotionally, especially as you age? The constant judgment lowers your self-esteem, leaving you feeling inadequate. Over time, you might start doubting yourself more often and become unable to trust your own decisions. This is particularly harmful in your later years, when you're focused more on living authentically and peacefully. Instead of feeling empowered by your choices, you may feel like you're constantly living under a microscope, which creates unnecessary anxiety and tension. You might even start avoiding certain situations or activities just to escape the inevitable judgment. Being around a judgmental person also makes you feel unwelcome in your own skin. Instead of celebrating the person you've become, they make you feel like you have to change or live up to someone else's expectations. This type of environment can be exhausting and draining, especially when you're simply looking for comfort and acceptance. It's hard to feel like you can truly relax or be yourself when you're constantly scrutinized for your personal choices. As you age, it's essential to surround yourself with people who accept you for who you are, not those who constantly remind you of your perceived shortcomings. In the long run, a judgmental person can have a lasting effect on your mental and emotional health. It's crucial to recognize when a relationship becomes toxic due to constant criticism and judgment. You don't need to spend your time with people who make you feel small or inadequate. Life is too short to feel like you're being constantly measured against someone else's standards. As you grow older, make the choice to distance yourself from those who judge you in time. Instead, invest in relationships that nurture and support you. Deserve to feel loved and appreciated just as you are. Person 5. The taker. A fifth type of person to avoid as you get older is the taker, thorn game. This individual only seems to reach out when they need something, whether it's money, help, favors, or some other form of assistance. The relationship feels incredibly one-sided, with little to no effort on their part to give back. They might act like everything is fine when things are going well, but as soon as they hit a bump in the road, they'll suddenly need your time, energy, or resources. The taker is quick to ask for help but slow to offer anything in return. The real issue with the taker is that the relationship becomes transactional. You may find yourself constantly giving, whether it's your time, support, or even finances, only to be left feeling empty and unappreciated. They have a way of making their requests sound urgent or necessary, and you might feel obligated to say yes. But deep down, you know that you're not getting the same level of care or commitment in return. Over time, this creates a sense of imbalance, where you feel like you're the one always pouring into the relationship without any of your needs being met. How does this affect you, especially as you age? The taker's behavior can lead to feelings of exploitation. You may start to feel like they only value you for what you can do for them, not for who you are as a person. This creates frustration and resentment as you realize you're being used to fulfill their needs without receiving any emotional or practical support in return. As you get older, you want to be surrounded by people who care about you, not just what you can provide for them. The taker makes you feel like you're nothing more than a resource to be tapped when it's convenient for them. The emotional toll of constantly giving without receiving can be significant. Over time, the imbalance in the relationship may begin to feel suffocating. You may start dreading interactions with this person, knowing that you're likely to be asked for something. This feeling of being used can erode your self-esteem, especially if you pride yourself on being generous and giving. It can also create anxiety as you wonder when the next request will come and how much you'll be expected to sacrifice in the name of helping them. In the long run, maintaining a relationship with a taker can leave you feeling drained and resentful. Life becomes far more fulfilling when you're surrounded by people who offer as much as they take, if not more. You deserve balanced relationships where both parties give and receive in equal measure. As you grow older, it's important to recognize when someone is only taking from you and to set boundaries. Surround yourself with people who appreciate your time, effort, and love, not those who simply see you as a means to an end. Person 6. The overly energetic social butterfly. The overly energetic social butterfly is another person to be mindful of as you age. This individual is constantly throwing parties, demanding socializing, and encouraging you to engage in exhausting activities regardless of whether or not you're up for it. They thrive on high energy, and their lifestyle revolves around being the center of attention, often pushing others to keep up with their fast-paced social calendar. While their intentions may seem well-meaning, their constant need for activity and interaction can quickly become overwhelming, especially if you're in a stage of life where rest and relaxation are more important than ever. While it may seem fun at first to be invited to one of their gatherings, the pressure to constantly participate in social events can take a toll. This person doesn't always take into account that your physical energy and stamina may not be what they once were. They might encourage you to attend every party, go out for dinners, or engage in activities that you simply don't have the energy for anymore. Their idea of a good time might involve running around, staying up late, or engaging in physically demanding activities that, at your age, feel more draining than exciting. Instead of being a source of joy, their hyperactivity can leave you feeling depleted and exhausted. How does this affect you as you age? The overly energetic social butterfly fails to recognize the need for rest and recovery, something that becomes more crucial with age. If you're constantly being encouraged to participate in high-energy activities, you may find yourself physically worn out or mentally drained. You start to feel like you can never just relax and take care of your body, because there's always something demanding your attention. As your energy levels naturally decrease with age, the constant push to keep up can create feelings of frustration, burnout, and even resentment. It's exhausting to try to live up to someone else's idea of fun when you just want to unwind and enjoy your own pace. At this stage in life, rest is as essential as socializing. The overly energetic social butterfly may inadvertently make you feel guilty for not being as active as they are, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy. Instead of respecting your boundaries and your need for quiet time, they might insist on dragging you into more activities, causing you to question whether you're doing enough or living fully. The pressure to keep up with their agenda can lower your mental health, as you begin to feel like you're letting them down by not participating at their level. Ultimately, the overly energetic social butterfly may not have bad intentions, but their relentless drive for social activity can wear you down. Life at any age should be about balance. As you grow older, your body and mind require more time to recover. Being constantly pushed into social events that you don't have the energy for can lead to feelings of burnout, stress, and even guilt. It's essential to establish boundaries with these types of individuals and let them know when you need a break. After all, being surrounded by people who respect your need for rest can make your social life far more enjoyable without the added exhaustion. Person 7. The pessimist who talks about the past. The pessimist who talks about the past is the seventh type of person you should avoid as you get older. This person is constantly reminiscing about how things were better in the past, dwelling on old grievances, and often comparing everything in the present unfavorably to times long gone. Whether it's their glory days, past relationships, or the good old days of their youth, they seem stuck in a cycle of nostalgia, only seeing value in what happened before. Every conversation with them feels like a trip down memory lane that never leads anywhere positive, as they can't seem to move beyond the past. The real problem with the pessimist is that their constant fixation on the past can be mentally and emotionally draining. Instead of focusing on the present or the future, they're often lost in a time that no longer exists, leaving you with a sense of hopelessness. Their conversations are typically filled with complaints about how things used to be so much better, whether it's about how the world has changed, how people have changed, or how they've changed over time. These conversations become repetitive and toxic as they fail to embrace the present and miss out on the possibilities of the future. This mindset doesn't allow for growth or positive change, which is especially important as you age. How does this affect you, particularly as you get older? Spending too much time with someone who constantly compares the present to the past can stagnate your own mindset. Instead of feeling inspired by what's possible today or in the future, you may start to feel like the best years of your life are behind you. The constant focus on how things used to be can create a sense of hopelessness, as if the present will never live up to the past. This mindset can severely limit your ability to enjoy the present moment, as you're always looking backward rather than forward. The pessimist who talks about the past also makes it difficult to create meaningful connections in the here and now. Their constant comparisons can make you feel disconnected from your own life. They might even make you feel like you're not living up to some idealized version of the past, which can create feelings of guilt or inadequacy. Instead of sharing in the joys of the current moment, you're trapped in a cycle of longing for a time that's long gone, robbing you of the opportunity to create new positive memories. This can lead to feelings of isolation, as you begin to wonder if you'll ever truly be able to enjoy the present. Ultimately, spending time with the pessimist who talks about the past can hold you back from fully appreciating your life as it is today. Their constant dwelling on old grievances and better times can make you feel stuck in a past that no longer serves you. You deserve to spend your time with people who inspire you to grow, embrace the present, and look forward to new possibilities. So there you have it. 7 types of people you should consider avoiding as you grow older to maintain your peace and well-being. Remember, your time and energy are valuable, and it's important to surround yourself with those who lift you up, not drain you. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment 9 if you agree with this list, or 0 if you think there's someone else who should be on it. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.